Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Collegedunia Student Connect. In this series of videos, we bring to you different people living away from their family as an international students. Today we have Suhasini Kumar with us. Hi Suhasini, welcome
Hi.
to the channel. And Suhasini will be giving brief insights about her life, about her experience in Liverpool. Suhasini is somebody who is now studying in the college in the University of Liverpool, one of the famous, prestigious, renowned, and expensive university in the world. Let's call that. And without any further delay, let's get started. Okay, Suhasini, before diving down into the questions, let's have your intro first. Tell us something about yourself, your work, background, history, anything.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Suhasini, a full-time student in MSc in Organizational Psychology and at the University of Liverpool. And I'm also the co-founder of Next Gen Work Lab, a psychology-driven consultancy focused on helping companies rethink the way they work.
That's nice.
So I moved to UK in September 2024, and the journey has been full of new experiences. From logging to building a company from scratch, I've stepped into things I never imagined I would ever do.
Mhm.
I had so many ups and downs, but honestly, it's been completely worth it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
about me. Yeah.
Okay, so Asani, let's start with the first question, which is why United Kingdom? Why you chose Britain over any other country? And second question will be, what was your approach? What was the decision phase of moving out of India to another country, and why not to just settle over there? So let's start with the first one.
Okay, why UK is something I've been asked the most. Always, why UK, not something other? So I chose UK over India because India offers a more of theoretical approaches and there's not much practical exposure you get. And based on my course, I chose UK based on the scope and opportunities I have for my course in any other countries. And when I was looking for colleges and universities for the same, there weren't many options I could choose from in India, and the scope and opportunities, the pro and con list, UK stood out the most. And I get to have work for 2 years after my graduation for in the name of postgraduate work
Yeah,
visa,
yeah.
which helps me get not only the academic graduation things like that, but also work experiences while I'm at that, so
Mhm.
that I can bring more experiences back to India wherever I decide to work in future, which is why I chose UK. And there's this one more thing. UK, the master's program in UK is just for 1 year, but whereas in India it is for 2 years. It saves me 1 year, and I might as well work after
Okay.
graduating, where I get 2 years of experience. So that is why I would say UK stood out the
Why?
most. And,
Sorry, UK over US or Russia or maybe any other country. So why UK over all the other?
US wasn't in my radar at all.
Mhm.
Uh, and most of when I was asking around, for opinions of people, US cost of living was so much more than UK. It might not be true, but the focus is more on STEM courses than the psychology and social sciences courses.
That's right.
So I wasn't sure if I would get a graduate visa to get some work experience,
Hmm.
because I don't want to just study and come back to India without anything. I want to bring some experience with me, which is why I chose UK based on the opportunities and I would get here rather than any other countries.
Hmm.
And any other, like Germany offers a lot of scholarship programs, things
Yeah.
like that. I was stuck up on that, but I was really not into learning a new language in such a short period of time. I couldn't pressurize myself like learning so many languages and just go, and I did not have that in me, so I chose UK over any other country.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so Hasani, jumping to the next question, very important question. What's your university or college looks like? Tell us about it, and I'll add another question later. So tell us about the university. How's the faculty? कैसा student mass है वहाँ पे? How's the community? Are they engaging? Any racism or discrimination? Anything like that? So tell us everything about the university experience of Liverpool.
Okay, so University of Liverpool is a part of Russell Group Universities,
Mm.
a group of 24 top research intensive UK universities. And while applying, actually, I heard that it is important that you choose to be a part of Russell Group universities because they have international recognition, and that helps you while you're looking for jobs, things like that. Your degree is valued, like it just adds one more tier to it, that's all. And Russell Group universities are known for high academic standards, world class research output, strong employer recognition, access to top faculty and academic resources. And University of Liverpool also has this guild of students, Liverpool Guild, which is basically you have so many societies, like
Mhm.
in like so many, like ballroom dancing, salsa, bhangra, anything, baking, a society for Taylor Swift, Swifties, and a society for what not, badminton, swimming, sports, extracurriculars, any extra, crochet,
Oh,
anything
nice.
and everything. You have it all. And you have this freedom to choose to be a part of any of those communities. And the best part is when you, so when this welcome week, which is basically the first week of university, when you come into Liverpool, like for the university, you get to enjoy each and every single society, be a part of every single society for free that week,
That's nice.
where you can explore what you are really interested in. And I particularly attended like 7 societies. I made the most out of it. I went to cycling, I went to windsurfing, I went to this Indian dance thing, I tried bhangra, I tried, loved it, honestly. And there's the university gym as well, and swimming pool, everything you need. So I feel like there is no, you know, the amount of amenities you get, resources you have is insane. But I would say make the most out of it.
Yeah.
That's the best part I really like about Liverpool. And not just about, talking about these fancy amenities, but also about career support. There's this whole career support team available for you who help you screen your CV, resume according to whatever companies you're applying for, and they help you, how to improve it before you send it down to them, what needs to be done,
Yeah.
how do you need to crack the ATS system, and how to improve your LinkedIn. They have this enhancement workshops every Wednesday for, like if I'm talking about my course, every Wednesday there's this enhancement week, like enhancement day, where they bring all these LinkedIn experts, things like that, anything and everything related to career, who help you guide through all these things so that it helps you through your through to build your career forward. So I feel like that is also one of the best thing about University of Liverpool. And when I was talking about why UK and why this, why UK, because in my course particularly, every week, every module, we have one class of lecture and one class of seminar. The lecture is completely about theory, teaching you about every single thing academic. But in the seminar, it is all about practically applying whatever you've learned in the lecture. So nothing is going to waste. You're
Mm.
practically applying every single thing using a lot of stimulations, role plays, case studies, presentations, anything and everything, so that you're not just learning it, you're applying it, so you know how this works in real
That's
world.
good. That's actually.
And that is exactly what what I am personally looking
Mhm.
for.
Mhm.
Because in my bachelor's, all I learned is theory.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to find time with classes to
Yeah.
go to internship as well, manage
Yeah.
something, get training. It was so hard to manage things, but over here, everything falls in place.
That's good.
So
Talking
I feel
also talking about university, let's we talk about the course and the fees because it's important.
so talking about the fees, you also get scholarships. I got £5,000 waived off on as a scholarship on my fees. That was basically the 2,500 was for the merits, and 2,500 was for being from being in, from India, since I am from India or something like that. I actually do not know what exactly it is, but I don't think I can include this.
It's
Just
okay.
cut this off. But I did get £5,000 waived off on as a scholarship, and
What's
the
the
rest
overall
of
fees of your course?
the overall fees of like this term was 27,500. Yeah,
Okay.
27,500 pounds, and you pay it through two installments or one, however it is. Yeah. So if you're self-funding yourself, you get 2,500 waiver on that, and that
Okay.
is how it adds up to it.
Hmm.
So if you're self-funding yourself, you get a bit of scholarship with the merits you have,
Yeah.
and that totals up to 5,000 what I got. And if you're taking a loan, that is a whole different thing, and I do not know much about it because this was a self-funded thing.
Okay.
And what else was it?
So yeah, you told me about the course and just tell me what's the scenario of your accommodation looks like over there.
Okay, accommodation.
And your expense per month, like how much are you spending per month as an accommodation? Was it hard? Is it really hard to find accommodation over there?
Honestly, once you get into the university, they add you to certain groups, like whoever is gonna join you in the particular term, and they send you a lot of emails regarding the accommodation, things like that, where you get to select university halls to any other accommodation available over there. And that is how I selected my particular accommodation. I currently live in Silver and Suit, so I pay 149 per week. But since the wages has increased, the
Okay.
prices has increased for
Mhm.
this year, so
Yeah.
it adds up to 158 to 168 per week. So depends on what kind of room you're choosing. I would say bronze and suit is a bit more cheaper than silver and suit. And this is just one more question I had is, are we going to live in an apartment or are we going to live in a shared room, things like that. I really didn't know how things work, or how would things work. So currently it is basically like you have options to share your room, that there are these options in different accommodations, but I live in a student accommodation where everything is divided into a flat apartment with 6 rooms or 5 rooms each. So I currently live with 6 people,
Hmm.
like me and other 5 people.
Yeah.
And there's this only one common kitchen that we share, and the rooms are separate and the bathrooms are separate. But you also get these options in other accommodations where you get a shared room or with sharing bathroom as well. So it also depends on your personal choices how you want to live.
Okay, so there are different multiple options available for accommodation, and it's not that hard as compared to Canada. Because यहाँ पे तो it's very difficult to find accommodation. Even universities are also finding it very difficult because there's a lot of international students there,
Students.
and it's
uh,
on the first come first serve basis.
Oh
So
yeah, the university works like that, first come
yeah,
first basis. And this
yeah.
is also one more thing, that there are some accommodations which would need a UK guarantor. A guarantor is someone. So when you're signing up for accommodation, you need to sign a contract
Oh,
that you would be paying the fee, or if you are not able to pay the fee, I will take the guarantee, or I will take the responsibility.
okay,
So
okay,
so that would be a guarantor.
okay,
And a guarantor, there are like two types of guarantor. One is international guarantor, and second one is UK guarantor. UK guarantor is somebody who lives in UK, who is not a student, who actually lives in UK and
okay.
works there.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the international guarantors are someone like our parents, like whichever
Hmm.
countries we're coming from. That is how that works. So it might be difficult to get UK guarantors if you don't have any relatives living there. And I don't think any relative would, stand up for you to sign for it.
Yeah.
Somebody who never stands up for
Hmm.
anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you have good relatives, that's not my point. But
Okay.
yeah,
That answers the question. Yeah. Thank
yeah.
you. Okay, that's a good information. The third question is about English proficiency test. Was that a requirement to be in this university that you are currently in, or the country you are in, or that was just a variable thing, subjective thing for different courses?
Okay, so I personally didn't have to take IELTS because of my 10th and 12th grades of English communication was considered by the university. So they waived off it for me because I already met the requirements. So I did not particularly have to take IELTS. And but I remember a lot of my friends did take IELTS and they prepared it through all these free mock tests and free resources available on the internet. Actually, YouTube also helps a lot. What does it not help with? But yeah, YouTube helps a lot. All those online resources, mock tests, best thing. It just needs a lot of practice, and yeah, you're good to go. And regarding my SOP and LOR, I personally I submitted three LORs, and they weren't repetitive, or each one of them were like very different. So the first LOR was completely focused on my research abilities, capabilities, things like that, and the second LOR was very academic. Which included my psychology internship. I did my bachelor's in psychology,
Okay.
in psychology. So it included all my academics, internships I did, all the events I participated, which is so, like solely academic. And the third LOR was based on my extracurricular activities, my volunteering activities and events I participated in. So it presented, like a part of me in all the different categories that you can expect a student to excel in.
Hmm.
So that was what I was thinking about while thinking about how many LORs. Ideally, you would need to have two, but it would be good if you have three. But minimum would be one LOR at
But
least.
what was your approach? Like, did someone help you? You made it yourself, or?
So LORs was you find a particular format needed by the university. Sometimes it varies from university to university, and based on the requirements of the UK university or whatever, if they have a particular template, and some universities in India also have a particular template while drafting a LOR. So all of these were drafted by my professors according to whatever I was. So that was the structure we followed, what we had in our university. And regarding the SOP, I took good 3 to 4 weeks to, draft it. A lot of my friends who were in abroad and who were doing the same thing. So we had this talk, and that is how I came up with the SOP with, yeah, through peers, and it worked out.
Okay. Hopefully, ChatGPT was not a part of it.
I mean, making it better,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay, that answers. You said you did not take the IELTS exam. Wasn't that a requirement to go into the university?
So they waived it off for me based on my 10th and 12th grades of English communication. So I did not have to write or take the test
Hmm.
because of my grades back then. But each and every university has this minimum requirement, which would range from, expectation would be 3.5 or above, or 5.5 or above. I think the minimum would be 5.5 or above, or 6 above. It actually varies from university to university. There is no single score that you would, if you get this, you would be accepted in every
Hmm.
university.
That's
So
nice.
your score, like if you're trying to apply for any university, you would have to meet their basic requirements. This is
Right.
the grades they require,
Hmm.
and your graduation grades as well, like the CGPA or SGPA, whatever. So those are some minimum requirements, and after that, you give your SOP, LORs, things like that. So you submit all of these together.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Jumping to the next question. What's your monthly expense looks like apart from
So
your tuition fees? Is
yeah,
it
apart from
expensive
my,
to live there?
it is. if you're living in Liverpool, it's a very student friendly city and it's
Mhm.
not expensive as London, because London is very expensive. Let's look
Well,
at the
it's
reality.
London, so what do you
Yeah.
expect?
So for the rent would cost you like £800 a month or something like that. But I do not look after the rent. My guarantor does, which is my parents. But I look after groceries, transport, phone bills, all these things. So I the transport only I take is, like buses, but that's very rare because everything is very near in Liverpool. Everything is walkable. Like talking about groceries, supermarkets, malls, things like that. So Liverpool is really very closely knit, and I live near the city center as well. So I don't do much of transport or anything like that. So that saves me money. Phone bills are very much cheap, I would say. They're not that much since
Mhm.
I am working, like for over a part-time job as well. So I feel like it's not expensive.
Mhm.
And groceries, I would say, cooking is, groceries, buying groceries saves a lot of money than, buying food outside,
That's right.
because a week's grocery is equal to
One
days
time,
budget of
yeah,
pizza.
exactly. So
Trust me.
what's your monthly expense? Let's wrap it up in a rough figure. कितना expense आ रहा है month
So
का?
if I am not including rent, that would be around 200 to 300 pounds.
And
That's
by
all.
including rent,
By including rent, it would add up to 800. If it is your rent, it would like 200, 300 more, 1000 to
1,000 to
1000,
1,200 pounds.
1200
Okay.
pounds would be your whole
And
extra expenses.
very, very important question. Do you think by doing just part-time job, you will be able to add up for your next semester fees or pay off your debts or something like that?
Okay, so doing part-time jobs can only help you get, fill up the rents and groceries the most. If you are getting paid the average minimum wage, that you can do it. But if you're trying to pay your rent as well, that would be very tight and cut.
In short term, just explain what's the part-time scenario looks like or the full-time scenario looks like.
So part-time scenario is basically like you'll have to apply online all those company websites, whatever you wanna apply on, and you can also do walk-ins. Initially, it was really hard for me to find part-time jobs. I feel like it's hard to find part-time jobs because when you're looking, you're for applying or looking for part-time jobs, you would need all those skills, hospitality
Yeah,
skills, and
yeah.
something like that. Because in from like being in India, we are not used to working anywhere like that. So as a bartender, I really do not have skills of a mixologist. So I was fortunate enough that they trained me to be a mixologist, but not every place is ready to do that. So that is why it is hard to get into one of them, and people settle for less because they're not able to find one.
Hmm.
And um, it cannot cover your tuition fees because you can only cover your living expenses. That's all.
All right, time for the next question. Very important question. What's the part-time scenario in Liverpool? Because यहाँ Canada में it's really messed up. Almost US maybe it's kind of messed up about part-time jobs, but what's happening there in Liverpool? Were you able to find a good part-time job or कितना time लगा? What's the scenario?
Okay. So there's this thing. Initially, it took me like 3 months after I came to Liverpool to find part-time jobs,
Okay.
and then I it took me like 3 months. I couldn't find anything. All I got is rejections. All these emails. You will have to apply on the website, things like that. But currently, I work as a bartender, where I got the job when I it was like literally like a walk-in, and that I'm happy that worked out to me because the team I have is like literally amazing,
Mhm.
and I would literally call them my family over here.
That's nice.
Literally, not even exaggerating at this point. And there's this myth where you can fulfill your add up your fees through your part-time jobs. You cannot do that because
That's very
all
important.
you get
Yeah.
is, yeah, you cannot do that because it's in like you earn this minimum wage, and barely you can meet You can meet your rent and groceries, things like that, but that would be cut to cut. But if you're not paying your rent or something like that, it would be like such a easy living if you have a part-time job, and you all you have to look is for your groceries, things like that. Easy life. But
Mm.
rent would also be possible, but it would be like a tight cut. You wouldn't be able to eat or spend out where, aaj bahar khane chalte
Chill.
hain. No,
Yeah. Okay.
you will have to think about it.
Hmm.
You can do it, but if you manage it really well. But tuition fees is literally like not possible. And because as a student, you are on a student visa and you're allowed to legally work for 20
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
sorry, 20 hours.
Okay.
You're allowed to work 20 hours, not more than that. So on your holidays like Easter break and Christmas break, you can work till 40 hours, not more than that. So it is hard to fill up your tuition fees, but you can fill up a part of it, but it would
I've
take
seen
a
I've
lot.
seen many influencers showing on Instagram that hey, you can work part-time and still able to add up for your
Honestly, yeah, I come across all these reels and I was like, okay, dude, I want to earn too, but you can't just, there are a lot of scams too, guys. Like literally, you get all these DMs, messages, click on the link, you just have to do a market survey and you'll
yeah.
get so, you'll get paid so much. They will be so desperate to get you, but that it is really the scam. And during the welcome week, you're gonna be warned about the same. Don't click on any random links or anybody who's gonna say I'm gonna offer you a part-time job, things like that. And there's one more thing I really want to warn, people. I know you really want a part-time job, but I would say do not sign up for any, while you're asking what would be your wage. There are a lot of supermarkets or shops which offer you like cash in hand. Okay, fine, if they're paying you minimum wage, okay, fine, but a lot of them pay half of it, saying you do not have the experience. Honestly, I would say walk away, please,
Okay.
because it is real exploitment of your energy,
Yeah.
the amount of work they make you do. It's hard labor, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. But I would say please walk away because they're gonna drain the drain all the energy out of you. So be
In
aware of those scams.
okay. Just yes or no. Can anybody add up for their fees just doing part-time?
No,
Okay.
honestly, no.
Coming to the next question, which is related to the same question, is what's the full-time job looks like in Liverpool? What's the full-time job like? How can you get into the field and how are you able to, what's the way out? Somebody finds the job in the field, suppose in psychology, and how much are they expecting as their salary, annual CTC or something like that? मतलब क्या scenario है full time jobs का field jobs का?
Okay. So, what everybody would suggest, and I would also suggest, is the moment you walk into UK in September or January intake, start looking for graduate schemes. All these graduate schemes and programs are, put out by companies who have these graduate programs. So that is the ideal time to apply and get into it. But honestly, what I would say is when you have come to UK for the very first time and you're still there, you haven't started your course yet, you are looking for, building your CV, having more experiences to add in. And at that particular time, point of time, you do not have anything to sell out
Hmm.
that, I've done so and so, because you're still looking forward to build things. But I would say make as many connections as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
I'm talking in terms of networking, might be in person or in LinkedIn. Start sending out invites. You don't have to, just keep talking to them or ask about the jobs. Just maintain a simple contact. And the advice I have received from career support now is, while you are making any sending invites to people, obviously nobody would like you to, hey, do you have a job opportunity in your company? Nobody would help you, not even your friends, like,
Hmm.
let's be
Right.
honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, so have this real connection, ask about, ask advices from the alumni, since it's a 1 year course, which is why I chose UK, because I heard now Canada also has 2 years of masters. I
Master.
don't want to
Yeah.
do yeah, when I have 1 year, I don't want to do 2 years of masters. So talk to people, connect with them, ask for their advices. People love giving advices. we know it. And that is, a way of building connection with them, so that you make them feel heard, and you also get to know how did they reach there. They're from your university, they're from your course, there must be something they did, that's why they're there. So get
Okay.
to know that rather than just going behind them, get me a job, get me a referral. We need referral, but
Yeah.
let's take some
No
time.
way.
Which is why they say start connecting early,
That's true.
because now it's April, May, June. Everybody are looking for jobs
Yeah,
for graduate programs. You can't rush in,
that's right.
so that is an ideal thing to do.
But
But
what's
it
the
is,
sorry, what's the top-notch salary for somebody who enters your field and suppose completes the master's, gets a field job?
yeah. So the starting salary for fresh graduates would be around 20 to 25 or 25 to 30. And if you need like after 2 years of your course time, like after your graduate visa expires, you would need a sponsorship to say stay in UK. So the minimum criteria would be, you need to at least earn 40,000 pounds. You need to make 40,000 pounds to be eligible for the sponsorship. So anything can last from 40,000 to 70,000 or more, depending on your experience you have.
Mm.
What do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
That is how you can. And if you have experience, you can always negotiate. That is always on the table. So
Mm.
know what your talents are worth of,
Okay.
rather than just empty bargaining.
And what about the timings? What's the tenure? क्या कितना time लग रहा है आज के time पे to get a part time from transiting from part time to full time? How long it's taking you to find a job or any other person in the field?
Honestly, you can also do part-time jobs in companies, like actual companies based on your role. You
Okay.
just you just need to, start applying. There are, numerous amount of opportunities and job roles open. But all you need to do is, if your CV gets still there, if you pass the interview, you need to just, it's all about us putting efforts
Yeah.
than waiting to get accepted.
Mm.
Obviously we have to get,
Mm.
wait to get accepted, but try,
Right.
because there are a lot of things which are open. Start small, start somewhere. That's how you can, link it to every single thing.
Got
So
it.
if you get a part-time job in a company, you can extend it to full-time
Okay.
job when you are a graduate. And then after 2 years of time, you can also ask them for sponsorship,
Yeah.
as you have proved your skills and abilities to stay there.
Mm.
So these are things you can do. There are a numerous, amount of things you do, but a lot of people stay in part-time jobs or hospitality jobs even after graduating, because they are not actively applying.
That's why it makes sense when you say start connecting early, you know?
Yeah. So if you are applying, it's not just one CV you're applying for every single company.
Exactly.
That treat every single resume, every single company as a mini project, because you're tailoring it accordingly to the mission, values of the company and yours as well. So that it is not just a blank resume, but it has something in it.
Hmm. Answer, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, coming to the last question. Very important question. What's your advice for the aspirants or the people who are trying to go to University of Liverpool in 2026, 27? Is it a good fit? Should they be coming to UK or this university particularly? What's your thought? What's your advice?
Honestly, I would say don't pick a university because somebody else picked it.
Yeah.
Just, I would say do pros and cons list. Look for your scope and opportunities according to the particular course you are going for. My course is organizational psychology, but it doesn't have to be the same for you.
Yep. Yep.
So it depends on your course, and choose universities, look at their modules, things like that. Whatever matches the best to you, wherever you want to see yourself in the future, if you feel the university is going to lead you there, that is when you choose that university, not because it has all these good rankings, things like that. Because at the end of the day, this is your journey and you need to choose wisely.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you are planning to study abroad, you will meet a lot of diverse people, and I would say be open to all these new experiences. it is gonna enhance your cultural intelligence like on next level. So be open for every single thing. Choose and make your decisions wisely, not because it's fancy, because it's gonna be worth it if you think it's gonna be worth it, and
Hmm.
that is where you see yourself in the next future. After this, that is when you choose and make this decision,
That's
not because it's fancy.
okay. But would you advise UOL?
Yeah, I would definitely advise UOL because of the everything I've talked about
Okay.
UOL.
Okay.
But think about your particular course. You might have, better universities for according to your particular course, because not every university stands out with every single course.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Okay.
choose wisely, and I would definitely recommend Liverpool because it's such a student friendly city.
Yeah.
But if you compare the same thing to London, it is a very busy city,
Hmm.
and people over here are really very friendly, honestly. Not even, and mentioning about the discrimination and racism thing, with the first welcome week, the first week of the university week, there is LGBTQ club, there is club for disability, there is every single amenities, every single group and category of person needs,
That's good.
and everybody has a room in it, and that's what University of Liverpool makes everybody feel.
Hmm.
You have this room for everyone. That's the best thing. And I would say, touch wood, I've never experienced racism ever while even working or being in the university as well. So I would say I made a good choice.
Okay. Awesome. Out of 10, how much would you rate it?
Liverpool, I would say 10 out of 10. The
10
amount
out of
of
10.
experiences I have had is overwhelmingly nice.
That's nice. That's nice. I'm glad you liked it, and I'm glad you made the decision coming so far choosing this university. I hope and I wish you all the best with your
Thank
education
you
and with
so
your career, Suhasini. With this note, let me end this video. And thank you everybody for watching this video so far. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do it. Please subscribe to Collegedunia because this thing
much. Do
motivates the
subscribe to,
yeah, please
do
subscribe to Suhasini handle also. Hopefully the team gonna place it down somewhere in the description and you can follow her as well. If you have any question, just put it in the comment section or you can reach out to Suhasini also. She'll be able to help, hopefully. And then thank you again, once again, for watching the video. With this note, adios. Goodbye, Suhasini. Have a good day.
bye. You too.